What kind of cry could cut through the dark of space and still sound alive? Cole Knox felt the ship shake under his boots. The floor jumped. Red light flashed along the metal hull. An alarm howled and cut off. Then it started again, louder. Crew ran past him. Some slipped. One slammed into a wall and stayed down. Cole grabbed a rail. The ship rolled. Gravity pulled sideways. He tasted metal in his mouth. Someone shouted over the noise. He could not hear the words. He did not need to. The ship was in trouble. The bridge door slid open and jammed halfway. Smoke pushed out. Cole forced it wider and stepped through. Sparks burst from a broken panel. The main screen showed space spinning slow and wrong. Stars stretched. A red warning band blinked near the edge. Myra Hawley stood at the command pit. Her hands shook as she worked the console. She wiped blood from her eyebrow and did not slow down. "Signal is still there," she said. Her voice stayed flat. "It keeps repeating." Cole moved beside her. He looked at the feed. Static filled most of it. Under that was a sound. It was rough, broken, like a scream dragged through metal. "How far?" Cole asked. "Too close," Mira said. "We dropped out fast." Something pulled us. The ship shook again. A deep hit. Hull alarms flared. A deck below lost pressure. Doors slammed shut on their own. Cole looked around the bridge. Half the stations were dark. One officer sat slumped in a chair. Another tried to get up and failed. No one looked calm. No one looked ready. "Any contacts?" Cole asked. Mira shook her head. "Not yet." The scream burst louder through the speakers. It cut sharp. Cole felt it in his chest. It was not random noise. It had shape. It had pain. "Kill it," someone yelled. Myra hesitated. Her hand hovered. Then she pulled the sound down, but did not shut it off. "If we lose it, we lose the source," she said. Cole knew she was right. He also knew every second it played, it wore them down. The ship steadied for a moment. Engines burned hard in the distance. Outside, space was not empty. Wrecks drifted past the screen. Broken hulls, burn marks, frozen fire scars. "This place is dead," Cole said. "Not all the way," Mira replied. A new alarm cut in. Short, sharp. Weapons lock. Cole's head snapped up. "From where?" "Unknown," Myra said. Her fingers flew. "Automated systems?" "Old. They just woke up." The ship lurched. A shot scraped along the hull. The sound screamed through the frame. Lights went out. Emergency strips lit the floor in pale blue. "Return fire," Cole said. Weapons answered. The ship shuddered with each blast. On the screen, shapes moved. Small. Fast. Not ships. More like drones. They came from behind the wrecks. One slammed into the hull and exploded. The shock knocked Cole down. He hit hard and rolled. Pain shot up his arm. He pushed through it and got back up. "More incoming," Myra said. The screen changed. It rose in pitch. It felt closer, stronger. "Source is pulling power," she said. "It is not a beacon. It is a broadcast." Cole stared at the screen. A broken planet drifted into view. Its surface was cracked open. Faint lights flickered deep inside the scars. "Set course," Cole said. "We finish this." Myra looked at him. Fear crossed her face. Then anger pushed it away. She turned back to the controls. As the ship moved forward, the screen cut off without warning. Silence hit harder than the noise. Then something massive moved under the planet's surface, and the lights went out across the system. The ship dropped into the debris field. Metal floated in slow arcs. Shadows cut across the hull. Cole's boots slipped on the polished floor. Sparks fell from overhead conduits. Each step shook the ground. "Sensors are picking movement," Mira said. Her fingers danced over the console. "Something is alive down there." Cole looked out. The broken planet hung in front of them. Its surface was black and cracked. Deep crevices glowed faint orange. The air outside shimmered with dust and fire. The wrecks around them drifted silently, like dead soldiers. A warning buzzed. Doors clanged. A hatch below unlocked on its own. Myra cursed. She slammed a hand on the control panel. The hatch closed, but not before a small drone shot through. It exploded against the hull with a deafening bang. The shock threw Cole against the railing. "Ground teams ready," Cole said, voice tight. He wiped blood from his temple. "We go in fast. We move together." The elevator dropped. It shook violently. Cole felt every pulse of the engine. Sparks ran along the metal walls. The sound of distant gunfire echoed up the shaft. When the doors opened, the landing pad was a war zone. Smoke hung in thick clouds. A burned-out shuttle lay on its side. One of their soldiers crawled out from under a twisted beam. He coughed and stared blankly at them. "Cover fire," Cole shouted. He grabbed his rifle. Shots rang out from nowhere. The team dove behind the hull of a derelict ship. Sparks flew where bullets struck metal. "From above or below?" Myra asked. "Does it matter?" Cole snapped. "Move!" They ran across the deck. Their boots clanged on metal plates. Smoke burned their eyes. Every corner hid something waiting. Small automated turrets fired at random. One hit the floor beside Cole and shattered it. He jumped back just as the edge collapsed. "Look at that," Myra said. She pointed at a crater. Machines moved inside it. They were ancient, jagged, and fast. Their eyes glowed red. They scanned the human group and fired. The team returned fire. Shots sparked off the machine's armor. Cole ducked behind a fallen support beam. His heart pounded. He counted his soldiers. One was down. Another screamed as fire tore across his arm. "Keep moving," Cole said. "Do not stop." They reached the edge of a deep crevice. The glow inside it was brighter now. A pulse of energy shot up from the cracks. The ground shook under their feet. A warning horn blared in the ship above. Myra's face went pale. "That signal is getting stronger," she said. "It is feeding the machines. It is controlling them." The floor cracked beneath them. Cole grabbed Myra's arm and pulled her back. Dust fell like rain. The hum of energy grew into a roar. Suddenly, from the depths of the crevice, a massive shadow rose. It moved faster than any machine they had seen. Sparks flew from its limbs. The glow from its eyes lit up the broken walls. Cole froze. His stomach turned. The team shouted warnings, but the shadow moved too fast. Myra whispered, "We were not ready for this." The shadow lunged toward them, and the ground split again, swallowing half the landing pad. Cole grabbed a soldier and pulled him back just in time. Then the crevice opened wider, and something enormous emerged from the planet itself. The shuttle shook as it fell. Fire rolled across the front glass. Alarms screamed inside the cabin. Cole strapped in and locked his boots. His teeth rattled with every hit of air. Myra fought the controls. Her hands moved fast but rough. One screen went dark. Another flashed warning lines. "Stabilizers failing," she said. "Hold on." The shuttle broke through the cloud layer. The sky below burned red and black. The planet's surface rushed up. Cracks glowed like open wounds. Smoke poured from deep trenches. Something moved under the clouds. Large shapes. Slow turns. They did not fly. They rose. The shuttle slammed hard. Metal screamed. Cole felt his spine jolt. The cabin lights cut out. Then they came back weak and flickering. They were down. Cole unstrapped and hit the floor. Pain shot through his leg. He pushed it aside and stood. The rear hatch blew open with a blast of hot air and dust. Outside was chaos. The ground was broken metal and stone mixed together. Old structures leaned at bad angles. Fires burned without wind. Distant engines roared and stopped. Myra coughed and climbed out behind him. "We are not alone," she said. Gunfire cracked across the plain. Blue bolts cut through smoke. Human weapons answered from behind a wrecked wall. Shouts echoed and died. Cole ran toward the sound. He slid behind cover as a blast hit the ground where he stood a second before. Dirt and sparks filled the air. A squad crouched nearby. Their armor was scorched. One soldier pressed a hand to his side and bled through his fingers. "Who are you?" a woman shouted. "Cole Knox, from the carrier," he said. "What is happening?" She laughed once. Short and sharp. "The planet is waking up." Machines rose from the ground ahead. Tall frames, hard angles. Their eyes burned white. They fired without pause. Cole took a rifle from a dead soldier and joined the line. Shots hit metal and sparked. Some machines fell. Others kept coming with missing parts. The ground shook. A massive structure pushed up from below. Plates of stone slid away. A tower rose, black and smooth, cutting the sky. The command signal hit again. Not in the ears, in the head. Cole staggered, his vision blurred. He tasted blood. The machines changed pace. They moved faster, smarter. "Fall back," the woman yelled. "To the trench." They ran. Fire chased them. A machine leapt from above and crushed a soldier under its weight. Cole did not stop. They reached the trench edge and dropped in. The walls shook as blasts hit above. Dust poured down. The air burned. Mira slid in beside Cole. Her face was gray. "That signal is controlling them," she said. "It is using us too. It is testing." A scream echoed from deeper in the trench. Then another. The lights along the wall flickered on. Old power. Still alive. A door slid open ahead. Inside was a tunnel lined with metal and cables. Heat rolled out. "We move," Cole said. They ran inside as the trench collapsed behind them. The door slammed shut on its own. The tunnel sloped down. The sound of machines followed through the walls. The command signal grew stronger with every step. At the end of the tunnel, the floor dropped away. Below them was a vast chamber. Endless rows of machines stood silent. At the center, a core pulsed with light. The signal stopped. Every machine turned its head toward them at once. The chamber was alive. Machines shifted in unison. Their eyes glowed. Cole felt the floor vibrate under his boots. The core pulsed brighter with every second. Mira gripped his arm. "We have to destroy it," she said, "or everything dies." Cole nodded. He checked his rifle. Only half the rounds left. He had grenades strapped to his belt. Enough for a fight, not a war. A machine stepped forward. Its metal scraped on the floor. Sparks jumped from the contact. Others followed. The air smelled hot and electric. Cole fired first. The rifle cracked. Bolts hit the machine and scorched its armor. Sparks flew. The machine stumbled, but did not fall. It swung a claw. Cole dove aside. His shoulder slammed against the wall. Pain burned, but he kept moving. Myra pulled a charge from her pack. "Cover me," she yelled. She ran toward the core. Machines turned. Their movement was sharp and fast. Cole shot at one that leapt toward her. It fell with a clang, but two more took its place. The floor shook harder. Panels above rained down sparks and fragments. Metal twisted under the stress. The chamber walls creaked. Cole fired and ran. He tripped over cables. Dust filled the air. Myra shouted. He saw her reach the core. She placed the charge. A massive machine charged from the side. Cole grabbed a fallen pipe. He swung it at the machine. It struck metal. The machine roared a harsh, grinding sound and hit him back. He rolled. Pain exploded across his ribs. He pushed himself up. The charge timer ticked. Every second louder than the last. Mira ran toward him, dodging another machine. Cole covered her with the rifle. Each shot took down one, but more advanced ones replaced it. The core glowed intensely. Light burned their eyes. The machines were faster now. They pressed from all sides. Cole realized this was more than defense. They were attacking together, like a single mind. "Get out!" Myra screamed. Cole grabbed her hand. They ran to the side corridor. The walls shook violently. Dust and sparks filled the air. One machine fell from above and blocked part of the path. Cole hit it with everything he had. It collapsed with a crash, leaving them a narrow opening. The charge beeped faster. Myra's hands were shaking as she held the detonator. Cole fired at a machine jumping from the ceiling. It hit the wall and sent metal flying. They slid under a fallen beam and reached the exit tunnel. Behind them, the chamber rumbled. The pulsing light of the core flared wildly. Machines crashed as their own systems overloaded. Mira hit the detonator. The explosion ripped through the chamber. Heat and shock waves slammed against Cole and Mira. The floor buckled. Sparks burned the walls. Machines were torn apart. Metal screamed. They stumbled out of the tunnel. Dust and debris choked the air. The chamber collapsed behind them with a deafening roar. Cole and Mira fell to the ground, coughing and bleeding. Cole looked back. The core's light was gone. Silence replaced the pulsing signal. The machines lay motionless, but the ground trembled still. Mira wiped blood from her face. "We did it," she said, voice trembling. "We stopped it." Cole nodded, but he did not feel victory. The trench they had climbed from was empty. The sky burned red. The distant engines of other warships were quiet. Too quiet. A soft hum began under the rubble. Small lights blinked deep in the wreckage. Something moved. Not fast, not like the other machines. Slow. Waiting, watching. Cole grabbed Myra's arm. "Move," he said. "We are not safe yet." As they limped across the broken plain, the hum grew louder. The ground shook with each pulse. They realized the core had not been the only one. Something bigger had just started. Cole and Mira moved across the broken landscape. Smoke rolled in thick clouds. Every step kicked up ash and metal fragments. Their armor was scorched. Their breathing came fast. Behind them, the chamber collapsed fully. Dust and sparks shot into the sky. The machines were gone, crushed or destroyed. Silence fell over the battlefield. "Are we done?" Myra asked, voice low. Cole shook his head. "I don't know. Something is still out there." A distant tremor shook the ground. Small debris rattled over their boots. Cole aimed his rifle, scanning the horizon. Nothing moved at first. Then, a thin line of lights appeared, blinking far off in the wreckage. Slow, rhythmic, controlled. "They are regrouping," Myra said. Her hands shook. "Not all of them died." Cole cursed. He wanted to be angry, but fear had no room for it. The war had cost too much already. Around them, wrecked human ships lay twisted. Bodies were scattered over the ground. Fires burned in shallow craters. He checked the data pad on his wrist. Command had lost contact with other squads. The carrier was gone. The galaxy knew nothing of their struggle. Only them. Only this planet. A loud crash behind them made them spin. The ground quaked. A massive shadow moved across the ruins. Cole grabbed Mira and ducked. Metal groaned. Part of a building collapsed. Dust filled the air, choking their lungs. They scrambled to higher ground. Cole's leg hurt badly. He stumbled. Myra grabbed him, helping him forward. Every step was slow, deliberate, but they moved. They had to. From the sky, a warship appeared. Not human. Sleek, angular. Its engines burned blue fire. It hovered silently, scanning the ruins. A mechanical hum pulsed through the air. "They are still watching," Myra whispered. Cole nodded. He raised his rifle, aiming at the craft, but the controls were far beyond their reach. There was no fight left in them, only survival. A soft vibration ran through the ground. The lights from the distant machines blinked faster. The hum grew into a low roar. The planet beneath them trembled. Something massive shifted below the surface. Cole grabbed Mira. "Run!" They darted across the broken terrain. Sparks from fires licked the edges of metal wreckage. A structure collapsed beside them, sending shards into the air. Cole felt a piece slice his arm. Blood ran down his sleeve. They reached a shallow trench and fell inside, gasping for air. Mira pressed her hand to her chest, trying to slow her heartbeat. "We survived," she said, but the words sounded empty. Cole shook his head. "We survived this, but not them. Not all of them." The hum grew louder. The blinking lights turned into a pattern. It was not random. It was a signal, moving through the ruins, pulsing in time with the planet's tremors. Cole stared at it. His stomach tightened. The core was only part of it. This planet is a network, a command system. And it is still alive. Myra's eyes widened. "We thought we destroyed it. We thought it was over." Cole's hands tightened around his rifle. "No, we just bought time." A deep pulse shook the trench. Dust and fragments flew into their faces. The signal pulsed again, stronger, faster. The hum now filled the air. Mira grabbed Cole's arm. "We need to get off this rock." Cole looked at the horizon. The sky burned with fires from distant wrecks. The machines they destroyed were only a fraction. The galaxy would never know what happened here. Suddenly, the ground beneath them cracked. A wall of metal and stone rose. Something massive moved in the depths. The pulse hit again, and Cole felt it through his bones. He pulled Mira up. "Run!" As they sprinted across the shattered plain, the first massive shadow of a new structure rose from the ground, bigger than anything they had seen. And from deep inside, a new signal pulsed, calling across the galaxy. Cole and Mira did not stop. They ran toward survival, knowing the war was far from over. The cry had been answered, but its cost was only beginning.